If all knowledge ultimately resulted from reflection upon sensory experiences, then society could be improved by changing man's environment. Human beings, in other words, could be remade. This view amounted to a type of Prometheanism, a term that refers to the Greek titan Prometheus, who molded man out of clay. In this world, people can create other humans, almost ex nihilo. Hence the subtitle of Mary Shelley's novel of 1818, Frankenstein, the modern Prometheus. Aristotelian philosophy, Jewish law, Roman legislation, and Christian theology acknowledged that rules and laws have a formative effect on men's behavior, and no one denied that people's choices are influenced by their environment. But it is a different matter to hold, as the French philosophe Claude Lévi-Strauss did, that education can do anything, and it is only by good laws that we can form virtuous men. The purpose of law, according to such a view, is not merely to restrain evil and encourage the good, but also to refashion human nature. The implications of this shift are profound. No longer is anything given about human nature. It is a blank slate, even plastic. Human beings are their own creation, not creatures with an essential nature that, like God's, does not change. This conception of man generates questions that demand answers. How does one recreate man? What should he be reshaped into? Who makes that decision and assumes responsibility for the reshaping? A common Enlightenment answer to these questions was that the goal was improvement. But this only led to other questions. What does improvement mean? What is its content? Some Enlightenment thinkers understood improvement as enhancing the usefulness of men and objects to increase the overall sum of happiness. For them, happiness was the maximization of pleasure and the minimization of pain. Others defined improvement as the growing liberation from constraints, especially those grounded in superstition. Many also conceived of improvement as anything that furthered humanity's conquest of nature, including human nature. For most Enlightenment scholars, progress was some combination of these things. As for who should be making decisions about the direction in which to reshape individuals and societies, many Enlightenment minds firmly agreed. It should be people like themselves. One of the legacies of the Enlightenment, then, is the intellectual and an associated public sphere. By intellectual, we mean more than scholars, such as medieval theologians reflecting upon God's nature or modern physicists trying to comprehend gravity. The term embraces those who study ideas, but who also want to see their ideas applied to the social order. The public sphere is where information is exchanged and subjected to critique by persons and organizations beyond one's own circle. In the 18th century, it grew to include newspapers and journals, exhibits and concerts, academies, museums, salons, debating clubs, coffee houses, and libraries. And a growing number of participants in these conversations came from the worlds of commerce and finance, ensuring a hearing for middle-class opinions about political topics once the preserve of the clergy, the gentry, and the nobility. Linked to these changes was the growth of what was called the Republic of Letters, informal networks of intellectuals who corresponded with each other outside the setting of universities and across the boundaries of caste. A king, like Frederick the Great, could exchange letters on a basis of intellectual equality with Voltaire, the son of a minor, non-noble treasury official. In many cases, correspondents knew that their letters would be read by more than the immediate recipients. Rising literacy and easier access to printed materials enabled more and more people to participate in these exchanges, even at the margins. To be sure, educated men had corresponded with one another before the Enlightenment, but these exchanges attained maturity throughout the 18th century and shaped public opinion and taste to a degree that even absolutist rulers could not ignore.
To keep listening to this audiobook, I've left you a link in the description so you can do it, at no cost thanks to Audible's 30-day free trial.